Yeah, that is how we do it. This is how we do it. Yeah, this is how we do it. That's the way we do it. Sap Obi, aka Born to Be Good, is always reacting to my audience, my fans, what they want me to do for them. I am not a financial advisor, so anything that you hear now is just for entertainment and educational purposes. So what I'm gonna do now is this. Last time I talked about forex trade and hedging. So if you have not seen that, I'll try to watch it and see the view I shared there with my fans. Today or tonight, it's already 23:00 hours in the United Kingdom. So I want to share with you crypto, and I'm not going to go into all the stories, all the buruhahas and all the regulations. I'm a freestyle presenter. So crypto, people look at it as one of those days, that you say, oh, it's risky, you can lose your money, you can lose your shirt and things like that. Well, when you try to ask people that say like that, that are skeptical, that are very fearful, and you know what fearfulness is. Fear is nothing but false evidence appearing real. And some people, when you ask them what it is in crypto that you are scared of or that you don't like, guess what? They can't put their finger on anything. So at the end of the day, it just trickled down. It just narrowed down to the fact that they know little or nothing about crypto. And it's really surprising. But for me, it's a bit funny, when somebody doesn't know what he's saying no to. I like to make informed decision, just to hear things out, and then based on what I've heard, on the information available to me, I make decisions, So when people say, oh, I don't want to deal with crypto, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, and then you find out that it's not actually crypto that is the problem. The problem is ignorance, not knowing about crypto. So I've decided not to go into all the stories of crypto, how the regulations or regulatory bodies are really hateful about this space, and the naysayers. But I'm just here to just mention briefly why I am fascinated or attracted to crypto space. One of the main reasons will surprise you, because it is the reason why people run away from it, or they say that they don't want to get their fingers burnt. Not that I'm a risk taker. Actually, I take risk, but calculated one. So, to cut the chase, people say that crypto is very volatile. Yes, of course it is. But what many people don't know is this: where there is volatility, there is also profitability. Note that. You can write it down. Where there is volatility, there is profitability. Because when the market moves, that is how you can make money. Because if you buy something, like say you bought it at £10, a space of time, the price goes up or appreciates to 100 pounds, maybe under few hours, you are pocketing 90 pounds just within a space of little time, So those who wake up in the morning, go to work by 9 and come back by 5, it's like what the Bible says, eating the bread of their sorrows, and God giveth his beloved sleep. They can only dream of that, just not wasting time and making money, just like that. Form it a lifestyle where you just wake up in the morning and then boom, go to your computer and just look at some currency pairs in crypto, and then just know what to buy and when to sell. And the golden rule is that you buy low and you sell high. Keep on jotting down the nuggets, because in trading, the key rule there is you buy low and you sell high. So this is one thing about crypto, because let's use BTC, Bitcoin for example. When it came out, there were so many things, the white paper, and then all the things that, yeah. So government have never been a fan to it. Regulatory bodies have never been a fan to it. And all the big boys, the financial institutions, are not fan to it, though they are sneaking in one way or the other, because if you can't beat them, you join them. But that is a topic for another day. You can say that crypto has come to stay, and all the brouhahas have settled down, and some people have taken the risk to make it happen, to get it to the point where it is now. So Bitcoin came out and it was almost like free. Get me a pizza, and then somebody afforded decided to provide that, and the gentleman paid more than 22,000 Bitcoin. And when we talk about Bitcoin today, man, you hear what it is. Right now that I'm recording, it's around $50,000 for one Bitcoin, and I know that few weeks ago it went all-time high, above 60 something thousand dollars for one Bitcoin. And this is something that when it was launched, it was less than 10p, So people have made money from that side, and we are not talking about that. You don't need to beat yourself up for not jumping when it was just almost like nothing. And then the hoarders, those that didn't sell theirs and did what is called hodling, it's not just smiling to their bank. Now they are bastard millionaires, multi-millionaires. And I can tell you, crypto space has made ordinary people like you and I from grass to grace, from zero to hero. And well, another topic for another day. So when the government and the financial institutions are on the throat of Bitcoin or crypto lovers or blockchain propagators, you can guess why and what they are really afraid of. So we can talk about that. Most of the people are just like their own banks. That is what some people are. Crypto transaction made it so simple that it can just at the hit of a button transfer huge amount of money to anywhere, anybody, any part of the world, because it is borderless, unlike fiat currency, where before you can use USD, that's dollar, American dollar, in your own local country, depending on where you come from, you have to first of all exchange it, and you know what it means. Or if you want to pay somebody in your own country from to another country, you know what is involved in the regulated space, and all that you need to do, and the different body that it will pass through, and the delays and the fees attached to the transactions. But this is not the case in the crypto space. It's why it is such a play that have empowered, crypto have empowered so many people, ordinary men, and that is what the father of crypto, Bitcoin, this is what he has in mind, because he was really sick and tired of all the restrictions, all the regulations. In crypto blockchain, you see that the transaction is more or less anonymous. It's also decentralized, another big topic. You know, the miners, you know, there is no particular body that we say this is where the transaction is being processed. It is just distributed in ledgers, and each miner does proof of work and are being paid according to what they do for the transaction, processing it, and they're all paid according to what they do. And different computers linked together are doing that. And not only that, it is so, I don't want to go into technical side of it, but know that it is not mutable. That means it cannot change it. It cannot change the transaction. It cannot falsify it, because there is a way it is being proved to make sure that it tallies. And once there is an error, it cannot go through. So any falsification is easily identified. Just as the word chain, it will not fit. Like lock and key, if any part is missing, it cannot fit in. That is why crypto and blockchain, this is why the transaction is very secured. You don't have your name, you don't have physical address. Everything is just done with letters, which is called address, and it doesn't reflect the name or any country, and boom, you just send it, you know, without tears, without sweating. So this is what makes transaction to be smooth, and also not falsifiable, and it is there. Any transaction can be caught up and checked. Even the first transaction in crypto can still be caught up and then analyzed and then followed up. So these things make it so secure. And one thing is this again, it is not revisable. I don't know whether this is advantage or disadvantage. So in crypto, you have to make sure that the address that you are sending it is exactly correct, because if you hit your button and it sends the token or the coin, you can't call it back. So it is what it is, and it depending on the side where you are looking at it, you can see the advantage and you can also see the risk. But the thing about it is, once it is sent, it is not retrievable, it is not revocable, and if you don't get the address right, you can lose your crypto. That is how the transaction is. So I've talked about the technical side. Let me, as a trader, come to why crypto is really such in vogue. Like I made mention at the beginning, that it is such a trade where there is a lot of volatility. People have made so much money, and I can tell you, those that are not patient have also lost money. Making money here, losing money here can be looked from different perspectives. But let me just keep it neat and not really mess around with the whole thing, because this is a very broad topic. But let me say now how people have lost money because of the volatility. Assuming that the price of Bitcoin shoots up, and to the uninformed, you just go ahead to buy, like say XYZ amount, right? And then you can buy it this morning, this morning, or this afternoon, or this night, depending on the part of the globe where you are. And guess what? If you buy 2,000 worth of Bitcoin or any of the crypto, Bitcoin has always been in our mouth because it is the father of the crypto currency. So if you buy 20,000 pound worth of crypto now, and you didn't check very well, you never knew that it was just like high, and within a space of time, it can just go down, it can just plummet, it can just crash, can just fall, and then your 20,000 worth of Bitcoin, let me just not exaggerate or cut down what I want to say. Let's say you bought it in the morning. It is possible that in few hours, even minutes, it can fall down, it can crash, and you'll be having like 20,000 falling down to half of it, 10,000, even 15,000, even 5,000. Honestly, it can really happen so fast. And if you are not strong with somebody, you will, out of fear, you will out of fear just say before it fall down to nothing, so that you just sell it off to mitigate further loss. But I can tell you that in the same day, or a few hours later, or a few minutes later, it can also start going up, climbing, and maybe you must have sold yours just to minimize your loss. The same cryptocurrency can start climbing again. That means that was just a pullback. And go back to the price that he bought it, 20,000. And then it's not exaggeration. It can go to 25. It can go to even 30, double again. And imagine you have a few minutes ago or hours ago, you just sold it to avoid getting nothing out of your words of Bitcoin or whichever cryptocurrency that that is in question. Tell me how you will feel to say that the same day, even the same hour or a few hours later, or even some minutes later, the thing backed up again and then the price it appreciated, reached the price that you bought it, and you thought that you are losing your shirt, and then go into profit and doubling the amount. Man, it's crazy. It's a crazy terrain. It's a crazy space. But I can tell you, it's the craziness that makes it even more interesting. So, that is it. You have to be strong-willed. You have to know a bit of how the market moves, so that you don't, out of fear, throw away your hard-earned currency. That is one thing about crypto. It can happen so fast. And then let me go back again. Like, I started by saying that crypto, like BTC, there was a time that it worth almost nothing. Imagine those that got it when it was less than 8p, and then they had thousands of it, and they had it, and then it appreciated, went to $1. Let me not just go into details. Then come up to say 1,000. You see, he bought something that was 8p, and few years later it was 1,000. Man, let the truth be said. You will say, what am I talking about? You're already millionaire, depending on the quantity that he bought when it was nothing. And then you'll be gladly smiling to your bank after selling thousands and thousands of Bitcoin that you bought, for example, when it was almost nothing. And now from there you'll be smiling, and you are the fast guy, you are the lucky guy. You were able to dive into the water when it was so shallow. So few years later, it's no longer 1,000. It appreciates to 3,000. Guess what? You'll be beating yourself up selling your Bitcoin at 1,000. But remember that this is something that you bought less than 10p. So you really made ridiculous huge amounts. But we are human beings. We cannot have enough. So we always ask for more. So when it is 3k, man, you say this, I sold it 1,000, now it is 3 times what I sold. Even though you made so much profit, you will be beating yourself up. And then you will all know the history. It climbed and climbed and climbed, and guess what? After it crashed, oh, people say, I said it, this is a fad. It will not come to stay. It's a joke. It's just like what you use in computer games. Then it fall down to $150. Can you imagine that? People that sold 10, so in thousand, now it came down to $150. Man, he said those that sold it when it was like 3,000 or thereabout, they were able to kind of study the wave. And then it's like gambling, knowing when to throw your dice and knowing when to walk away. That is what every gambler knows. So, but let's not compare with gambling. But at the end of the day, when you are speculating, you are just an educated gambler. The speculation and gambling, they're just like horse and carriage, or love and marriage. So enough of that mucking about. So imagine that it crashed, and people sold theirs around 3k. It fall down to 150. Let me tell you, you just be as good as dead, because you'll be crying your eyes out. So this is what I mean by volatility. In this case now, the other side of the spectrum is not profitability, because somebody who could have sold it 3,000 and waited and was a bit, I won't say greedy, was expecting more, and then the price kind of crashed. He said, if I had known, I would have sold it when people were selling theirs and making huge amount of money and carrying their money back to the banks. But then, after a while, some people, even miners, they gave up. It's a long story. So many things, one thing led to the other. But some tenacious people still kept the faith. And they kept on, mining and being Bitcoin enthusiasts, and kind of believing in it and saying it's like a religion, it's like a movement, it's like a protest against the regulatory space and establishment, So, those that really want to give power to the people in so many parts of the world where there is no developed financial institutions, and they are stocked. They can't even open bank accounts. So blockchain, crypto is kind of God sent to them, because it made transactions so easy, fast, anonymous, and very simple, without administrative bottlenecks when it comes to country to country, continent to continent transactions at a click of a button. So that's it. That's one good thing about it. So, but at the end of the day, people kept the faith and brought the whole event about Bitcoin, crypto, brought it on track, and with so much government regulations and fighting against it, I think I will say that the level the whole thing has reached now is a very big win. And like I said earlier, big organizations have started keying into, I don't have to mention names, but we know that so many of them have started giving, even financial bodies like some banks, notable banks, have started kind of warming up and shaping themselves, and they are restructuring to accommodate crypto, because now banks are losing customers. Let me just straight on this. It's really crazy when you save your money in the bank. We all know that you just get peanuts at the end of the year as interest. And I can tell you, if you are not careful, you might even be owing the bank, because they will charge you the cost of transactions and for keeping your money. Like with the volatility in crypto space, and those that have come to study the market and see how you can make money and how you can appreciate and things like that. So people are really taking their savings out of institutional banks and then taking it to the crypto space. And this is the problem that so many people are having now, because this is the cause of the regulations, the cause of the negative press. Have chains of businesses, they are now keying in, because if you can't beat them, you join them. Nobody want to be an outsider, and if you don't get in, you get out. And Bitcoin or blockchain or crypto space is like money train. Either you get in or you get out, but it is on a fast lane and it's moving, cruising. When internet came up, the advent of computer, personal computer being a household name, and then the communication, and then people laughed over internet and what it was promising. The www.com era. There are so many disruptive technology that have come, and at the onset, people ridiculed or made fun of those of championing the ideas, But now, from email to so many things to multimedia, in fact, anybody that did not change is stuck in the past, So what internet did in the area of communication is what blockchain crypto is doing in the area of finance, DeFi, decentralized finance, the digital asset. It is something that you just have to come on board, or you will miss out. And not only missing out, your system will be obsolete, because it's just like when you are stuck in the analog era and people just cross over to digital space, how you will struggle to live in a futuristic environment. And I can tell you, blockchain, crypto space is now the finance of now and future. No two ways about it. I'm not making it up. It's already there. It has come to stay. Yeah. The financial institution, the regulatory bodies, government of countries may fight it. They have fought it, and they are losing the battle, or they have lost the battle. So what they are trying to find out now, how they will cut their own cake. And what does this mean? How they can regulate it. It's all about, this transaction, we are not making anything out of it, just like what they do in the regulated space. So it's all about tax and things like that, how to make sure that government get involved, regulate it, protect the consumers, because regulation is not, there's nothing bad in it. It's not all about tax and things like that. If it is not regulated, the consumers are not protected. So regulation is not really a B word. It's not a bad word, so to say. But it's just like, yeah, alright. If you know what I mean. If you are making money out of crypto now, and you are not paying anything, guess what? It will not remain like that, because when government get involved and find out a way to regulate it, so this is when both the government and their participators will say, we have arrived. The customers will be protected. They may not be having the fee there, like all the amount that they are pocketing now. So that's it. I think I didn't intend to go into details, but with all that I've been discussing now, I think you might be picking some points, either to be for or against crypto space, and to be a player. The world is full of so many players, but let the game changers be those that are being in the forefront of propagating crypto space. So enough of that. Let me go into the profitability of crypto space, which I've started by telling you the what happened when Bitcoin came up. So now people may not get so much from Bitcoin per se. I can't imagine the time that Bitcoin will fall again to almost nothing. So whenever a token is being launched, a project is being launched, it always enter the market at almost nothing. And those that buy the token then and when it is launched, that is where the money is. But before you start buying everything that is called a token, a cryptocurrency, there are so many things to look at, to consider. Those behind the project. This is very, very important. What is in their portfolio? What have they actually successfully handled? This is a very broad spectrum topic. But in a nutshell, do your due diligence and find out those behind the token, the project, their success stories. This is where people lose money. If they are dodgy and they can't deliver, or they are not well connected, they are not very influential, they don't have what it takes to run successful business, the transparency, the robustness is not there. I mean, there are so many parameters that one has to look at, before you can say, yeah, this token ticks my box, therefore I can invest in it. Now that it's launched and it is worth almost nothing, because that is where the money comes from. When it starts appreciating, I am fighting so hard not to be specific in the tokens, but anybody that has been in this space, not just for a long time, but has got a basic knowledge, knows that once a token is launched, that it doesn't have much value. And based on what I've said, if those behind it know what they are doing, they have done their research, they are well connected, they have credibility, and then the usability, and also the amount, because if it is in limited supply, those from financial side or economists or bankers, know what I'm talking about, because demand and supply have one thing that they look at. If the supply is high, then the demand will be low and the price will be low. But if there is limited supply and demand is high, then the price can go up, even exponentially. So that is another thing that makes crypto, unlike fiat currency, where the government print and kind of inflation so much, so at a point it loses value. But in crypto space, one starting from the launch, it doesn't, the quantity is limited. Once it is printed, that no more of that is being printed. And there is another thing they do where even the quantity goes down, so it's bound. As a way it's being worked out from time to time. Some quantity already will be taken out of the number that it was launched, and that makes it to now be even more scarce, and that also help in making the price, the value to appreciate. Then another thing is the ecosystem. The ecosystem, those that behind the project, what are they involved in? you know. So there are so many things that that particular project will be linked to, and then those that have business eye will find out that we just spot that this thing has got promising future, and then they will start buying it, and that is how you start appreciating the community, those that use it, those that are, once the number of people that start using it, start buying it, you know, start trading on it, increases, definitely the value will increase. So this is one thing that is very important in when you want to take decision whether to buy and hold any token that is launched, or not to touch it, because if it is not backed up by serious people in the business, it doesn't have ecosystem, the usability is not there, because without much ecosystem, we think that it can be used trade on, then there is possibility that the value may go down, or it might go a bit higher, and then because of lack of usability, then it will start depreciating, going down, and that means you lose your money. You may even lose your shirt when it crashes badly. So that's it. But all these are just on the long run. I think I've given it so much explanation that you will really have overview of what I'm saying about crypto, the advantages of getting involved. Then another thing again now is the volatility. Actually, the point I've just made now is how people can really make money on the long run by buying a token and then keeping it until it appreciates to any. It can't even predict it. I mean, it can't really say. You can only say, oh, this looks good, the future looks good, but it might be a very big surprise that within a space of time the value goes up, and then there will be much reward for taking that calculated risk, or you miss out because you are not convinced enough to make up your mind in favor of buying it, and then when it appreciates exponentially, you will just be saying, if I've known, I would have invested on this token. So that's it. Then when it comes to the real trading on crypto, I've touched it at the beginning. Normally when it is launched, where people benefit is by holding it and having it for some years, and then when it goes up, they sell. But those that trade on crypto every day, they rely on the volatility, buying low and selling high. Because since I started this presentation, a particular cryptocurrency with another one that pair, it might have appreciated so high that you get more than double the money that you use in buying it that morning or that afternoon, and then you sell it, and then the one that the pair that you bought, it could be that before the day runs out that one appreciate again. Why the one that you sold start depreciating, start going down? So it's it's really fun if you can just get your head around it with past experience or using the candlesticks, especially if you have done a bit of forex trade. You can tap into the indicator, because a trade is a trade. The only difference in crypto is that unless you trade with leverage, but the only difference from forex trade when it comes to losing and winning is this. In forex trading, you take position, long or short. If you think that that particular currency, fiat currency or whatever, will go up, then you buy. And if it is going up as you predicted, maybe using indicators, working out which way it will go, then if it goes up, then you make profit. And depending on the where you keep your take profit and your loss size, you can really get out from that trade with a very big plus. But if it goes against you, that is, you thought that it will buy up and then it start going down, that is, the sellers take control, you lose. You take position, either you win or you lose. But one thing about selling of crypto for another is that you can just limit it to selling it and buying another one, or the other way around. What it means is this: you can sell it now with market order, that is the price in the market. If you know that the price they're selling that your crypto is far more than what you bought it, you just sell it and then take the one that the value is going down. You make profit. Another thing you can do is this: you may decide to use limit order and say, I know I'm making profit already, but I know that this can still go up. Then you use limit order, fix your price, or decide your own price that you want to sell that your crypto. And until it reaches that your order that you have fixed, it will not sell. So what means is this: your order will be there, open order, and then once the price reaches what you have chosen to be your selling price, then your order will be filled up. If selling, you put in from the market price, and maybe instead of the price going up, it starts going down, it will not sell because it did not reach the price that you have fixed. At the same time, it's not like forex trade, you will not lose. Remember, I said at the beginning that you only lose or gain when you have sold. So if it is going down, it will not be filled. So what happens is this: if, depending on how you need your capital, if you leave it there, when it starts coming up, when the price starts backing up again, it might still come within 1 day, 2 days, or hours, reach the price that you fix it, and then it will sell. So the point here is this: you don't lose by fixing a price, even though when your crypto is not appreciating, it's going down. You just sit on your palm and wait. So anytime it starts coming up then you'll be smiling. And then once it reaches your fixed price, you will sell. So in this case, it's being patient. You will not lose. Unless it crashes to the point now that you have the fear. You have fear that it might not come up again in short time. And you can't afford to tie your money in that crypto. And you're afraid that it might go down and go down and go down until you have much loss. So that is the only way you can sell your crypto and lose. But experience has shown that if you don't sell, you don't lose, because sometimes it will come up. What it cannot say is when. It might predict based on some indicators, technical analysis and the fundamental analysis. But that is another topic for another day. But basically, if you don't sell, you will not lose. So that is the point there. That anyone that is dealing in crypto has to know this. So if you make right decision by taking the crypto that in that particular season the price has been going up, if you're able to get it before it started shooting up, then depending on the quantity that you bought, you will really make ridiculously huge amount. We know the case of one of the top guys in very big motor industry. Let me not just spit out the name, who among other big fish try to sell one thing or the other depending on what they want from the market. When they want to rubbish a market because they want to buy that crypto, they may say something against it, and then it will crash, and they will pump their millions and billions and buy it. And a few weeks later, they will start praising that cryptocurrency again and start saying some positive things, and then the price will come up again. And guess what? They will just make so much profit. These guys are buying in millions. At the beginning of this year, one of them bought BTC, Bitcoin, in millions. And that was when the price went down because of one thing or the other. And he was buying and buying, and people were scared that this is going down. But you know what he was doing? A few weeks later, it just came up. And I think almost doubled the amount that he put in. And when I'm talking about amount, I'm not talking about chicken change. Billion. So this is what they mean, that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. I don't know whether I've helped you. I don't know whether I've confused you. But I know that with good heart, I am trying to let you know what is happening in crypto space. I'm not advising you on what to do. I'm just sharing ideas. Ideas rule the world. If you are not informed, you get deformed. And if you are informed, you get knowledge. And if you get knowledge, it doesn't stop there, because knowledge is not power. Rather, applied knowledge is what is power. So Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. With that, my guys, I would rather like to continue, but I know that I've given you so much information, enough of that. The little that I've given you, if it is little, is enough for your salvation. For those who thought that I've spent so much time, I'm so sorry, because when I'm in this space, I get carried away. Thank you, girls and boys, for listening. Like I always say, I do this because of you, because of my love for all my fans. So if you want to hear more, like in my next video, I will talk about passive income. Most of the online trading platforms, I will tell you why they are seen as scams, and I will also give you the thing that give red flag that you will look at and then say, if you put your finger there, you will get it burnt. But like I said, I will do that in my next presentation. So if you're expecting me to do that and you getting it, then like this, share it, subscribe, and anytime I come out with ideas, you will be the first to know. Cheers, buddy. Love you all. So after enduring to the end, I believe you guys deserve to be entertained. Let's go, let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And remain blessed. That's it, guys.